Everybody wants to talk about the Minnesota Vikings this season. ESPN has been all over the Minnesota Vikings this season. That's what 4-0 does for your team. When you win football games, when you beat the best teams in the NFL, like the Niners and the Texans and the Packers, well, you're going to get recognized, and that's exactly what's happening. Earlier this week, ESPN did a breakdown of the Minnesota Vikings offense and what's making it so successful. It was Dan Orlovsky. It was the former Patriots cornerback, former Good Morning Football host Jason McCourty, and there's another guy too. But they were breaking down the Minnesota Vikings offense, and this segment goes about 7 minutes long, just diagnosing how they're being so successful, looking at Jordan Addison's hitched go touchdown against the Green Bay Packers, looking at Justin Jefferson's success against the Green Bay Packers as well. And they did make some interesting comments, specifically Dan Orlovsky, near the end of the segment. So I'm going to play about a minute and a half. Watch and listen closely.
For everyone to pay attention to at home. Number one, this ball is going to get snapped at about the 44-yard line. Guys, that safety's on the opposite 40, so 15-plus yards downfield. Yep. Number two, when that run game gets started, watch what the corner does. That corner is going to turn and run with Justin Jefferson. His back is completely to the football. So as the ball gets snapped, the safety's now almost 20 yards downfield. Look at the advantage it is for your run game because Justin Jefferson lifts two defenders.
This is why being such an incredible wide receiver makes you actually a better blocker. Not because of your blocking ability.
Threat.
You have a threat because you need so much attention. Everyone knows in cover two, you got to get hands on.
Yeah.
Look at the focus he has.
Yes.
Because this safety says, and J-Mac, correct me if I'm wrong.
You better put hands on Justin Jefferson.
You cannot let him free release down that sideline. Don't leave me out to dry.
That safety is 20 yards from the ball.
My job is I am playing over top of number 18. These guys up here, you have to handle the run. That is not in my job description when they call this coverage.
But only because that guy's that guy.
A lot of it, everything is because that guy is that guy. To Hawk's point, if I'm out there as a corner, I'm looking like, yes, I got to get hands on my receiver, but I'm looking inside to read run. But because of who the receiver is, the hell with that run play, I got to get my hands on him.
I got to make sure he doesn't get up the field free.
Vikings are 4-0. They're the best team in the NFC by record right now, and they have the MVP in football. He's not a quarterback. Justin Jefferson.
Tell us, speak on it. Here's the thing, these receivers.
So Dan Orlovsky calls Justin Jefferson the MVP in football right now. And that was a very interesting segment because it details so many things that you don't get to see on TV. It showed the Minnesota Vikings doing a run play to Aaron Jones, a little pitch to Justin Jefferson's side. It showed Justin Jefferson streaking down the field. And the corner had no clue that the Minnesota Vikings just handed Aaron Jones the football because he was so focused on what Justin Jefferson was doing. Now, I don't agree with Dan Orlovsky's opinion that Justin Jefferson is the MVP of football right now. In fact, I don't even know if I agree with the opinion that Sam Darnold is the MVP of football right now. Because when you watch the Minnesota Vikings this season, it is so much of a collective team effort. And I know that's not a sexy take. That's not going to get everybody fired up. Sam Darnold's the MVP of the year. Justin Jefferson's the MVP of the year. I stand by that take. I believe in this take. But you watch what the Vikings are doing this season, defensively, offensively. And so much of the offensive success has come because of the Minnesota Vikings defensive success. Let's just take a look at this Texans game, okay, that they played earlier this year. I'm going to share the screen with you so you can follow along with me if you're watching this on YouTube. Let's take a look at the scoring summary. Okay, first touchdown of the game, they intercepted C.J. Stroud. 6 plays, 21 yards. That's an easy field. Second touchdown of the game, 6 plays, 56 yards. Another short field that the Minnesota Vikings got. Third touchdown drive of the game, 8 plays, 77 yards, went down pretty far there. Kicked the field goal, 43-yard drive. Easy points. Their last touchdown of the game, 7 plays, 53 yards. Got the ball at midfield. The Minnesota Vikings defense has put the offense in a successful situation almost every single game. Versus the New York Giants, they did not intercept Daniel Jones in scoring territory. But the Minnesota Vikings defense didn't let them score more than 3 points. They scored 6, but that was because of the Minnesota Vikings offense. Let's take a look at this Packers game where the Minnesota Vikings offense completely dominated them. You look at the first 2 drives of the game, 6 plays, 73 yards, 8 plays, 73 yards, very nice. You look at the third touchdown of the game, 7 plays, 46 yards, short field. Look at the next touchdown of the game, 1 play, 4 yards, is a 14-yard touchdown pass from Sam Darnold to Justin Jefferson. There's a holding call there, which is why it was a 1-play, 4-yard drive, but it's a 14-yard touchdown pass from Darnold to Jefferson. But you look at the scoring drives that the Minnesota Vikings offense has had to execute this season, and there are so many drives this season where the defense forces a turnover. Bada boom, bada bang, 1 or 2 plays later, the Minnesota Vikings offense is in the end zone. And that has contributed so much to Sam Darnold leading the NFL in touchdown passes with 11. That has contributed so much to Justin Jefferson being tied with Marvin Harrison Jr., the rookie wide receiver from the Arizona Cardinals, in touchdown receptions with 4. But JJ doesn't lead the NFL in receiving yards. He has 358 receiving yards right now. Nico Collins from the Houston Texans has 489. Malik Neighbors has 386. DK Metcalf has 366. Juwan Jennings has 364. And then there's Justin Jefferson at 358. Now, I'm not going to take any of those wide receivers above Justin Jefferson. And I do believe that Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the league because defenses have to do so much and take so much of their focus and put it on him. And you saw that from the clip that ESPN ran against the Green Bay Packers. Justin Jefferson forces the eyes of the defense to look at him more than any other wide receiver in this league, which creates so many opportunities for a Jordan Addison, for a TJ Hawkinson when he comes back, Jalen Naylor, who's had multiple touchdown catches this season. So many of those touchdown catches from the other wide receivers on the Minnesota Vikings are because Justin Jefferson demands so many eyes from the opposing defenses. But does that mean he's the MVP of the league? No, I don't think so. That's why this MVP award, the older I get, the more crappy and the more meaningless it becomes. Because when I watch the Minnesota Vikings and I watch Sam Darnold and I watch Justin Jefferson play, I don't see MVP of the league. I see, one, the best wide receiver in football. I see a quarterback that is reaching his full potential right now, but is also getting many benefits of a Minnesota Vikings defense that's putting him in a great position to succeed. Now, in the red zone, the Vikings have been sensational this year. But I'm not seeing MVP level of Sam Darnold. I'm seeing a guy that has played out of his mind, that has played the best football of his career. But when I look at what Mahomes is doing with the Kansas City Chiefs, with really no wide receivers to throw the ball to, Rashee Rice is all right, but now he's out for the year. Travis Kelce's been performing like crap. They're still 4-0. His numbers might not look as sexy as Sam Darnold, but you take a look at the effectiveness of what they're doing. Mahomes is the MVP every year, just like LeBron James is the MVP every year, just like Michael Jordan was the MVP every year. Who is the most valuable player? Not who is the sexiest player right now. And that is so much what the MVP award is. It's who's sexy, who's flashy, who can drive our agenda. And I look at this from an objective standpoint. Sam Darnold, I love it. I love the way he's playing. Same with Justin Jefferson. They are both reaching their apex right now in the same season, and that's a big part of why the Vikings are having success, but it's also because of the Vikings defense too. And that cannot go without notice because This has been a team collective success so far this season.